Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Daisy. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to sew an easy fabric face mask with pocket and knots support. And like I promised, this time I'm going to sew it by hand for the ones that don't have access to a sewing machine. And for this project, we're going to need fabric. I am using 100% cotton, but you may use the fabric of your choice. We're going to need 3 pieces with the measurements on the screen. And for the hems, we are going to need heat and bond. If you don't have, don't worry, we can just iron the hems. And for the ear holders, you may use any of these. If you cannot find elastic, you can use ponytail holders, t-shirts or legging strips. They are elastic and very soft on your ears, shoelaces, thin fabric strips, ribbon or similar. In this case, I'm using very soft ponytail holders. These ones are very thick but also very elastic. I cut them in 4. With one ponytail holder, I can make 2 face masks. And for the support around the nose, we can use pipe cleaners or lined floral wire. Also, we're going to need needles, thread, scissors, pins, clips, rulers, an iron, and a fabric pen or pencil if you have. I like to start ironing the fabric. I'm going to work on the hems on the top and bottom. I'm going to place the pieces of heat and bond folded with the fabric and iron it. These pieces are a little over of the measurements for the hems. I'm just gonna cut it in half, and with one strip I can use it for both hems. And don't worry if you don't have heat and bond. Just fold the edges by 1.5 centimeters or half an inch and iron it. Now I'm going to fold the top part by 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches and iron it. Next, I'm going to fold the top and bottom part by 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches and iron it. These ones are going to serve as a guide for the pleats. Unfold, and we're going to start with the pleats. This face mask is going to have 3 pleats in total. Every pleat is going to measure 4 centimeters each, leaving 1 centimeter in between. This is only an idea. You can make 4 pleats or 5 pleats if you wish, and you can make them with your own measurements. And if it's longer than this, make sure the other 2 pieces are a little bigger. I'm folding the pleats facing down, but you may fold them facing up, or you can alternate, one facing up and one facing down, or vice versa. When you finish with the pleats, make sure the sides measure 7 to 7.5 centimeters or 3 inches. Now that we're done folding the pleats, we're going to proceed and add the pipe cleaner. And if you have heat and bond, we can use a little bit to stick the pipe cleaner. If you don't have heat and bond, we can sew it by hand. Place it, secure it with pins or clips, and iron. Now let's remove the pins from the sides. Iron again, and we're going to wrap the sides with the other 2 pieces of fabric. When we're doing this process, let's make sure the side that has the pocket go on top. Secure it with pins and iron. Next, we're going to sew the sides. I'm using 4 threads to have a very strong stitch. Make a knot at the end and let's start sewing. But first, I'm going to trace it with a washable pen so it's easy for me to sew a very straight line. I'm going to leave a 1.5 centimeters allowance. This is a very easy stitch, but it's also very strong. I'm going to slow it a little bit so it's easy for you to learn it. Now I'm going to sew the other side. This time I'm going to show you a different stitch. This one is also a very strong stitch, and I think it's a very easy one too. When we finish sewing, let's make sure we make a couple of knots so it doesn't undo. Now that we already finished sewing, we're going to iron it again and unwrap those little two pieces of fabric. I'm going to fold both sides on the front, leaving 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to fold the remaining on the back. The fold has to be 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. It has to be a little longer than the fold in the front. And if you're using fabric strings, paracord, or a shoelace, you can sew it before and insert these ones later. But in this case, I'm using elastic ponytail holders. I'm going to place them before I sew the last parts. This one is going to be a hidden stitch on the front. You can only see it from the back. It's a very easy stitch. It's the same one we used before, but not too short. It's going to be a very long stitch, which is easier. Make sure you sew it very close to the side. And here we have the beautiful face mask sewn by hand. There is no excuse if you don't have a sewing machine. We can always sew it by hand. I hope you have enjoyed my tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my video. You can also visit me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for your visit, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.